welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching, liking, sharing and subscribing. I hope you enjoy the insights here in this reading. It's a general reading. You can take what works for you. I have shuffled and laid out the cards, so let's start now. I work with the 12 houses of the zodiac, and the cards that appear in each house bring relevant influences at this time. In your first house, you have part of fortune, which is symbolizes increase of some kind. This card is it's a very fortunate thing to be having in any of the houses of your chart. It indicates that perhaps talents or abilities that you haven't harnessed yet, or you haven't learned to use yet, or you just haven't acknowledged, are starting to come to the fore. They may be rising to the surface, so therefore they are increasing for you, and this is going to help you going forward. The first house deals with yourself, your inner self and your outer self. It's your personality, how you project yourself to the world, how you are perceived by others, and the physical body, your vitality and your energy, and so on. So with the part of fortune appearing in there, what that indicates is that you're going to be feeling quite good. You're going to have good health, and you're going to be feeling fairly powerful in your in the way you are moving through your life. You're being received well by others. You're able to solve conflicts and deal with any issues quite easily. You know, you're projecting yourself in a very positive way, and you're coming across as almost like lucky. You may, as I said, you may notice certain gifts and abilities starting to appear for you. It's going to manifest in the way that you are, your physical body. Perhaps it's with a sports regime or with some kind of health regime. You're going to be feeling pretty good, and you're going to maybe notice that you're doing quite well with something. Or it could be that you are you're going to be sort of almost like in the limelight. People are going to be perceiving you well. You may be asked to do some public speaking. So you're going to be projecting yourself very well, and this is a very positive influence. Later on, when we deal with the 7th house, which is all to do with your relationships, how you are appearing at this time and how you are projecting yourself into your one-on-one relationships is also going to be important. So this will come in later as well. In your 2nd house, you have Moon, which is also your soul. It covers a great many things. It covers your moods, your emotions, your intuition. There's a strong feminine influence in there. So this is appearing in your 2nd house, which is the house of income, your money, and it's your self-worth, your personal values, what you own, property, as in real estate, land, and issues around that. And it's your what you love as well. And so therefore what you love, you want to own. It's that correlation. And having the moon in there, you may just be finding that your income and your finances are going through phases. So they may be up sometimes and down others. So you're going to be going through the phases of the moon with that. Or you could be asked to be, or you may be bringing strong intuition into what you would like to do, when it comes to your money, you know, what you actually want to do with it, how you want to use it on a day-to-day basis. And you may not have a steady flow. So what you may have to do is think about ways which you can create a steady flow for yourself, or have ways and means of putting some money aside so that you create a stable income, as opposed to going through some months having abundance and then other months having nothing. And now, you know, you're having this constant up and down. It can make you feel a bit confused. You may also be having, maybe there's something hidden, something's not quite clear for you. You haven't got clarity on certain issues. Something could just be hidden from you, or just not being revealed at this time. There could be some clandestine activities going on. Also, if you're following investments and the stock exchange and so on. The moon rules the stock exchange, so you may be wanting to do a bit of research on that. But what it's asking you is to bring in your instincts, use your instincts to when it comes to handling your money, and dealing with others that may be handling your money. This is the other thing as well. But you may also, as I said, when it comes to possessions and so on, you may just be feeling quite emotional about certain things, or emotional about your property or your values. Following on, you have another watery moon ruled sign, and this is coming up in your third house. You have Cancer, I feel. So these two are sort of connected. They connect in many areas. So you've definitely got this very strong, watery, instinctual, emotional, and intuitive aspect going on. The third house covers all forms of communication. So that's written, verbal, body language even. It's how you talk to others, what you write, what you post on social media. It's also early education issues. It also covers short trips. So you may, if you're going to be doing a trip, maybe it's worthwhile going to the sea, because this is ruled by the moon. You may really enjoy going to the sea, spending time at the seaside. You're probably going to get a lot out of that. It's also the moon, or Cancer is ruled by the moon, but it indicates that you could be quite moody. You could be requiring time to just retreat and withdraw. So think of the Cancer, as the crab is symbolic of that. They like to go into their shell periodically. They also use it as a defense mechanism. But do not underestimate a Cancer at any point of view. If they are threatened or cornered, they will come out fighting and be quite ruthless. So they're very protective of their own. They're very protective of their possessions and so on. And they're also, Cancerians are very protective of their family. So the third house also covers siblings. So you may have a female sibling, which is, experiencing some sort of issue. Possibly you may need to be talking to them about certain things. You may have to watch what you say. Don't lash out unnecessarily or be crabby 1 minute and just say something negative. Keep that moodiness and that crabbiness in check, but also be deeply intuitive. And you may be in tune with others around you and just know what to say. This is the other aspect of it. So you've got to be able to balance those two. It could be also aunts and uncles. It's like family members. Deeply intuitive, also very creative, and quite psychic as well. So when it comes to your communication, you may be using all of those wonderful qualities of Cancer in your communication. But bear in mind, it does follow the phases of the moon again. So if you need to retreat to work out certain things, or to just understand things a bit better in your mind, then that's possibly what you might need to do. But it's a feeling sign. It's a lot of emotions going on in that house. Then it's also to do with contracts. This house also covers contracts of all kinds. So you may, as I said, you may really need to be using your intuition now to guide you to go forward. Harness all those skills so that you are making the best decisions. And I say that because coming up in your fourth house, you have a solar eclipse. This is revolution. So this is indicating change, and quite an upheaval at that. So sudden change. You may be moving because the fourth house deals with your home. It also deals with your ethnic identity and your foundations, your roots that came up from your origins. So you're good, but I feel it's connected possibly to do with your home environment. You're maybe asked to make a decision now at this time about where you're going to live. You may be forced to relocate. You may be deciding to move, or you may be forced upon you, but it's going to be a bit of a jolt. So, or it could just be really, like you just don't feel like it now at this point in time. You just feel that, to be tackling this. It's going to feel like that. It's going to feel feel like it's kind of been thrust upon you. Or you just may need to be making a decision about your home, which may be difficult. So there's issues around that. Or as I said, it could be issues to do with your perhaps your ethnic identity, which could also be home. You may be having to move away from where you feel the most settled. You've got your roots are there. You understand where you live. You understand your ethnic identity. You're very close to that. It's shaped your foundations in life and so on. And now you're being asked to move somewhere where you don't have that anymore. So there's lots of connotations to that, but it is a change of some sort, and quite a quick one at that. So if you are having to make decisions about your finances or about your contracts and things, and it may be affecting your home life, then this is the reason why. It's asking you to be intuitive and to go with your deep emotional feelings and actually assess things on a deep level, because you will be having to make decisions there. Then in your fifth house, you have Taurus. So Taurus is a very grounded, stable sign. It can be also very obstinate. It can be very set in its ways, but it's always methodical, determined, very earthy, very sensual sign. And always it strives for stability. It likes to squirrel money. They like to squirrel money away. They like to be financially sound. So now this is coming up in your fifth house. The fifth house deals with children. It deals with your creativity and love affairs and having fun, all forms of recreation. And so now with this appearing, if it's to do with your children specifically, or it could be children that are close to you, you may be asked to create a really stable and secure environment for them. Or they could be going through a phase where they just require that. They require, you harnessing all your earthy abilities, being a Capricorn, and to provide a really strong, stable foundation for them. Or it could be that they are going through choices about their recreational interests. It covers all the arts. So it's singing, it's ballet, it's dancing of all kinds, it's all the arts. They may be going through a period where they are now entering that world and starting to enjoy those activities, and it's your interaction with them during that period. Create a stable environment for them to enjoy those activities, take them to the extracurricular and so on. Or they could just be going through a particularly arty phase. There's lots of different ways to look at that. If it's to do with your creativity, keep your feet on the ground, be methodical. Taurians don't like change. They like things to remain steady because they feel secure like that. And if they're unhappy about something or they don't like something, they just simply won't make a decision about it. They'll procrastinate as long as possible. They become evasive. So when it comes to your creativity, keep things on the ground. If you've got work that you want to do or your project that you want to do, it needs to be balanced. It needs to be stable, and it needs to be. It will require you to put your love and your beauty, whatever you can harness from that, into it, because Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus covers everything to do with beauty of whatever kind it may be. So you may also have artistic projects, or you may be dealing with Venus type activities, which is anything to do with beauty, hair, art, the arts, which is dancing and singing and so on. So you may be using your creativity in those fields. But whatever it is, always be grounded, always be earthy, and aim for a steady progression, and keep your feet on the ground. Then also, when it comes to the fifth house, also covers love affairs. So if you're not in a relationship and you're now meeting somebody, they could be quite Taurian. And this will bring a lovely grounding element. And because you're a Capricorn, having a Taurus as a partner is a natural kinship, because you both have Earth in your chart. And so you may be, and Taurians can be really quite beautiful people. But they're slow moving. They're not very quick. They love sensuality, so that you can expect to be enjoying food and drink and beautiful sensual pleasures. And it could be really quite a beautiful relationship, very grounded, very earthy. But they're not fast movers, so don't expect to be swept off your feet. The Taurians they're much slower, and they're more they're like a sure thing. So you may just be entering in that. So if it's a recreational activity that you're doing, or you want to bring more of that into your just having fun, really, it's really about having fun, the 5th house. Then having Taurus in there, you may enjoy gardening. It may be a good thing for you to be doing, getting your hands in the soil, wonderful activity. Also doing things on the ground. So that's walking, hiking, anything like that. Any of those activities are going to be very, really good for you. Sensual activities as well, perhaps nice massage, anything that's going to keep you feeling good about yourself, and any of the, as I said, the artistic activities, and also beauty. Any of the beauty activities will enhance you as well. Then in your 6th house, you have Mars, which is force. So now this is a very powerful, fiery element. Mars is the god of war. Not saying that you're going to be going to war, but you may have elements of competition appearing in your 6th house, or something that you've got to fight for, something that you really got to be forceful and take action on. So the 6th house deals with work. It's the house of work. It's the house of craftsmanship. So mastering whatever it is whatever your craft is. It's all work projects, work colleagues, workplace, anything to do with work, your daily routine. And it's also massively to do with health and diet and pets. So you could be having quite a fiery pet entering your household as well. Or you could be, from your diet point of view, you may have to take action on that, because Mars being such a stimulating sign, it's high blood pressure, it's skin rashes, heat in the body. So you may want to look at that, or you may have to deal with that going forward. Something may appear to do with that, but anything that creates such heat and such stimulation, it's going to affect the body in that way. It's going to, force the circulatory system to work overtime and so on. If it's to do with your workplace, you may have Mars type people, very action oriented. Some of them may be aggressive, hot-headed, lots of energy coming in with them, or you may be required to bring that into your workplace to achieve, to get things done. And you may have to, as I said, if you're busy on a work project, you may have to compete in some way, shape or form, or you may have to fight for, protect your interests, or fight for something. So it's a very quick moving, fast, fiery energy. And you could also be activating your passions about something that you want to do. So it's a very passionate, again, a very passionate warlike sign. So you may be literally putting the fire under something, getting a project going, getting something off the ground. If it's a hot air balloon, it's going to rise and so on. So expect action or take action in your 6th house.